Welcome back to the Queer Circle, where queer healers come to the mic to share their journeys and what they tell their younger selves. Today's guest is a collective, Soul Revival, which stands for Sustaining Ourselves Locally in Oakland, California, composed of members Laya, also known as Bomb Snacks, Hannah Mayree, and Avé-Ameenah Long, a previous guest of the podcast. Soul is a newly formed collective of Black healers, artists, farmers, organizers, and dreamers, prioritizing Black existence and joy, and reimagining the nonprofit and community building formerly known as Oakland Soul. Welcome to the Queer Circle Soul Revival.
I'm Avé-Ameenah, and I like thinking of myself as a multidisciplinary artist and visionary dreamer and realist. I have a project, Keep It Diasporic, where I explore African ancestries, which used to be through travel, but it's been a little bit hard with the COVID, but through storytelling and pictures and preserving and documenting Black existence across the world. And I also am a co-owner of Oakland Soul here in East Oakland that has a community space and a huge garden that we are working on. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yes, my name is Laya Wig, and I am a musician and producer living here in Oakland. I've been out here for about 10 years, and I've been playing music with my band. I just recently, in 2019, started playing solo music, and I have been around and got to take part in so many activities, shows, workshops, just experiences here in the Bay Area, specifically in Oakland and San Francisco, that were facilitated by Black queer people, by BIPOC people, and it has just opened my whole world. And I just am so excited to get to provide that sort of programming and that sort of experience for folks, because it has shaped so much of my artistry and of who I am, to participate in all the different types of art events and all the organizations that are here, all the direct actions and movements I've been a part of over the years. I've always experienced music as right in your face, something that is interactive, something that is making a statement, and it's just informed so much of who I am now. So
I'm Hannah Mayree, and I am an artist. I've mostly dealt with audio, sound, doing some recordings and making music, a lot of acoustic music, as well as doing some a lot of looping and harmonizing and organizing groups of folks coming together to sing together and to be expressive together. So yeah, I'm really excited to be part of Oakland Soul as a co-creator there, just with this awesome group of people, because we are so multidisciplinary and so multi-talented, all of us are. And we're also getting to just be in a space of organizing together and learning and growing together as a collective. And that is a whole art form in itself. And let's see, a lot of what I'm going to be doing at Soul is holding space for the brick and mortar of the Black Banjo Reclamation Project, which I co-founded and direct. And it's also something that I've gotten to experience in this community, as we've been able to do other workshops. Before we had this access to this storefront, we were able to do some really amazing workshops and projects where the Black Banjo Reclamation Project is dedicated, excuse me, is dedicated to holding space for Black folks who are exploring this really ancient and spiritual diasporic art of playing the banjo and of playing acoustic instruments, as well as building them and designing them and just being the creators, as we are also the cultivators of the materials in our gardens and through our farms and through actually having stewardship of the land. So all of these are things that we've been able to participate in at Soul. This year was our first year of growing gourds, and we grew some really beautiful ones in the back, and we are so excited to make instruments out of them. And all of us have really gained a lot of skills and knowledge around this, and we're just excited to have a space where more people can experience that, especially queer folks. And basically, it's just awesome. I'm just super blessed and super happy about it all.
I'm co-owner here. I am the only sole member who actually lives here. So I live in the apartments above our storefront, which can be nice. And so my role is, I was basically, I guess I would say like the gatekeeper. I started off at Soul. I moved here in 2018, but I have been coming to Soul for garden work days. I've had 2 birthday parties here and a fundraiser for my first trip to Colombia here for the past like 10 years. So I've known this place for a minute. I moved in 2018 and it originally was a collective of 6 members of all POC, all queer, and of all genders. And we kind of had difficult, or I would say we've had to disband quickly from 5 to 3 to 2 to 1. And basically I'm like the last member of what Soul used to be and what it has been in what it has been for the past 10 years. And so it was, on taking work for 6 people was impossible. So this, when the vision and the ideal came together, it wasn't just one person. It was kind of just like understood and collected and agreed upon that this is going to be a Black space now. And so Hannah really just took a lot of responsibility in helping me and supporting me. And then Laya, and then our other friend who is a non-Black POC, Matali, really helped us and trying to visualize what the space is mentally and spiritually, but also like physically and moving stuff around. So I'm kind of like the liaison between what used to be and then what's happening in the future, as well as working on my photography here and shifting how Keep It Diasporic could still function in a time where we can't like travel.
What's been really beautiful about this experience is all of us coming together, is all of our different projects coming together, and there's just so much, overlap and shared vision. My personal vision is, my music project is called Bomb Snacks, hence all the snacks. And I have a lot of visions for Bomb Snacks. It's at first it started off as like my producer tag and an artist name, but I've always envisioned it to be so much more. And the more of it is providing audio-visual services to artists, helping them to record live music, live performances, getting together with Ave to do video, getting together with, Hannah to do sound. And I have a lot of visions for Bomb Snacks, but the main one that is definitely being, realized at Soul is assisting independent artists to have, you know, high quality recordings of themselves, to create high quality performances, you know, to have access to that photo studio that Ave is creating, to have access to a podcast studio, you know, because we have the capability to have good sound, and have them experience something they might have not ever experienced, to like be on set, to be, you know, creative directing their own vision, to, you know, in this time, you know, I have been a musician, you know, part-time, full-time in the Bay Area since, you know, 2015, playing with my band. And, you know, we had gigs every weekend. You know, that was a major source of income, and that was a major source of just life energy for me. So not being able to perform in regular settings, you know, we're really having to adapt. And I see myself helping people adapt. You know, not everyone has access to high quality recording equipment and setups. And in this time, you know, it's kind of the best time ever to be an artist or a musician, because if you can get support in creating that, you got a concert, you know, you got a live stream, you got a podcast, but it's all there. And I just want to make sure, you know, my main mission with Bomb Snacks is to support the independent musician community and highlight the voices of Black, trans, queer, and non-binary creators.
Our mission is, like, again, making this space accessible for Black people, because I'm from Oakland, and seeing the rapid changes of people and gentrification, I think now more than ever, it's important to have this space, because it's really sacred. And our future is definitely with Black Banjo Reclamation Project, with recording and sound and videography, but we also have a huge 5,000 square foot garden that we manage. And so we also want to take that opportunity to steward the land and care for it. And it has a lot of maintenance that's past due. So our goal is to take care of that, which is probably going to take the whole year to rebuild the garden and grow food there, and distribute it to our East Oakland and our West Oakland neighborhoods. And hopefully we could do a community supported agricultural CSA box that's in the hopefully year round, so not just summer crops but winter crops, and to relaunch our summer youth internship program, which would be a paid internship for youth in Oakland. And in the past, we prioritized queer youth, and we would want to still do that, but prioritize queer Black youth in Oakland to come learn about, like, the cycle of seed, from seed starting in the greenhouse to transplanting it to the garden, to maintain it, to growing it, to harvest it, and then to put it on the table. So have a whole, like, hands-on education with youth that can hopefully, like, they can share with their family. So it's like being passed on word of mouth. So yeah, the space in general is there for our art and our different practices, but we also have a huge garden that we want to incorporate in our programming and our community.
One thing that I really wanted to also say was, yeah, like, bringing in that relationship with the earth, like really having integrity around that. And, like, we've honestly seen how, like, things have fallen apart in the past because of a lack of integrity in the collective, and not having the support. And so I think, like, we are trying to have that actual spirit of, like, what does this look like to support people even through trauma, and, like, what does it look like to be uplifted all the time so that you aren't even in that trauma anymore. And I think that's, like, an amazing concept, and I think that the earth has such a role in supporting us to be able to do that. And I think also just to add in, with the Black Banjo Reclamation Project, something that I think we have that we're doing in an amazing way is like we're bringing in these elements of like modern music, and we're also honoring the traditions behind our cultures as well. Like being able to build a drum, being able to build a banjo and to work with wood, like what Ave said, like having it very hands-on and very accessible. That's like a lot of what we're building is like our tool arsenal and like the ways that we're knowledgeable about how to do this, because this is stuff inherent to us and we haven't even had the chance to create because of the way that the world is. And so we're just taking this opportunity to do something really for ourselves and for our community because it's necessary, and we're in collaboration with so many groups and so many people that we're here to give and we're here to learn and to just do that together, because this is new for a lot of, it's new for a lot of us as well. So
me salen movimientos de la nada y me salvan de su misión. Te convierten en mis alas y me llevan hasta
I see myself, supporting people like Ave and Hannah being a big part of the mission, and like myself as well. I live in West Oakland, and just in the past 2 years, two of our major Black ran art spaces in my neighborhood are gone and have disappeared. And there's about there was a couple spaces that were mostly the white and non-Black folks. They've disappeared, but because they have more spaces, because there's 5 spaces, 2 have gone for them is nothing, but 2 gone for us is everything. We're really having to fight for every inch of space to express ourselves. And Soul, my years of being here has always been a place I'd come across. I'd been to an event here, an event there, so I was familiar with it. And just the fact that we get to imagine a space for Black folks in our community, for queer Black people, for Black people of all genders and abilities, because we have that chance to imagine that, like that right there is the mission for me, because I've seen some of the cycles, at least of the past 10 years, and we need this. We need space. We need a space. We need a place, and we need to be able to eat, and we need to be able to, have clean water, and we need to be able to educate ourselves. And, Soul had provided that in the past for our, queer POC communities. And we want to do that with Black folks in mind, and really engage with the community that is in that neighborhood, engage with the community on that side, engage with our partners and our friends over here in the West who are holding down space, and make those connections so we can really get it moving. We can really advance our ideas, advance our projects, and advance our communities.
I feel like the embodiment of like queerness in a Black space like Soul has been like around like deconstructing and like redefining and reclaiming and being comfortable in our bodies. And I've just been having a really beautiful time just being in that space of just being accepted and being able to have candid conversations and being able to dance and skate and like be in our bodies together, and just like acknowledge that it's been a deconstruction to get for me to just get into further wholeness in community.
So what comes to mind when I hear Black joy is the support of Black people with Black people, because in reality, as much as there is a lot of allies, and I have so many good allies, even our own allies won't quite understand the challenges that Black people face daily, specifically people who are like femme presenting people. And I think what brings me joy is that I have so many Black people supporting me right now, and so many Black people who want to be in on this vision. And then just um, being able to, like, the benefits of living here is that I get to come downstairs, and even with all the shit on the side of me, in front of me, behind me, I get to be present in a garden, and I get to smell things, and I get to like play with cute cats and street cats who love to hang out with me, and see birds and just be like, you know what, that shit's beautiful. And like, the more Black people can sit and see freaking hummingbirds and touch soil and smell all the smells, like, that is healing. Even if we're not like thinking that it's healing, experience those things is what keeps me going on the days that I want to give up. Yesterday I wanted to give the fuck up, like, straight up. But this morning I woke up, and I saw the work that me and Laya did in the greenhouse. Me and Red put a fence up yesterday, and it's just like, no, no, I am doing this because I'm an able body physically, I'm able spiritually to hold a space that Black people need to have access to. And yeah, the days that I feel like I'm gonna give up, I'm gonna feel that, and then I'm gonna like express that, and people who are able to support me at the time will come and support me. Like, um, fortunately, my friend Red was here yesterday, and he supported me with like some anti-Black comments and shit that neighbors were like saying, and some really discouraging comments that neighbors were saying. But just having like those different pockets of support that I could like tap into, and also be that person to support somebody when I'm able to. Like, I could support another collective member, or I could support my cool neighbors when they need me, you know? Or I could support the cute little cats by leaving them fucking water. Sorry. It's just like the little things that bring me joy as a Black person that I just like want to spread to everybody.
And all this work and all this struggle, we forget, how important, like, the reason we're even fighting is so that we can just be happy and exist, and not even be happy, just exist and experience things. And, when everything was happening last summer with protests and actions, everything going on, I fought really hard for my own healing and joy. And that was what I wanted to fight for. I was like, I've been so many times on the front lines and doing direct actions, and, supporting with food or music, whatever it is. And I'm always going to show up in those ways. But I also know that, the fight is for the joy. So if I can find the joy now and here, and the healing here, like, that's where I want to go directly, because that is a fight. That is our radical action, is just being happy, being existent, being, in this world, and expressing any emotion is our radicalism. Because so many people last year tried to steal the joy of Ave and everyone at Soul. So many people tried last year. People are currently trying to steal our joy. And, by like I always said, just existing in the garden, being in that space, being in communion with land is a radical act of joy. And constantly, whether or not we're doing anything, people are going to be trying to take our joy. So what are we doing to energize ourselves? What are we doing to energize each other? This group, these people in here, and the people we're connected with are solid. And that's what I prayed to Spirit. I prayed for. I was like, I'm here in Oakland, I'm seeing all these great communities do things, and I didn't really have that community directly around me of Black folks specifically. And all my wishes have come true. All my prayers have been answered, because we are really supporting each other. And like Hannah said it perfectly and beautifully, like, we have really created a space for all of us to dance in our bodies, sing whatever comes to us, cook whatever we think we need to make that day. Some really great experiments have happened. Okay, let me tell you, in the kitchen. So all of that has been the joy, and it has kept me going. And it's what I look forward to in the future, is that part of it. Us, creating this real community that is open and is creating.
First and foremost, cut the check. If you got the money, like, continues to support us. Once we get some more establishment, we are definitely going to have a Patreon in the future, so folks can donate. But honestly, if like resources is really helpful. So do you know somebody that can help remove? So we have a lot of old wood that needs to be removed. Does somebody have some labor they could offer us to moving heavy things? Or we're clearing out Seoul, the actual space, the brick and mortar has years and years and years of junk that we have been compiling and organizing to donate on, or even things unfortunately dump. Can somebody come and pick these things up and take care of them and remove them? Can somebody donate their time to repaint the entire storefront? So I would say if non-Black people, not even non-Black people don't have access to money, but if you could share your labor or share some sort of resource that you could offer, that would be really helpful in the meantime, as we're starting to rebuild and reimagine things.
Yeah, if you're listening to this in the future, join our Patreon. It's up there, patreon.com. I think that we'll have work days that are open to the community, and we'll have work days that are specifically geared towards Black folks. And working in the garden will definitely be a regular thing folks can tap in with us about. Avé said it great. Lending the resources, spreading the word too. If you're, letting people know that, wow, there's a space that is ran and co-owned by Black people, and they're, specifically looking to help Black queer folks. Put the word out there, share we'll be creating content, we'll be promoting artists. So just sharing those types of things, most definitely. We will be offering a lot of programs as well, and we can talk more about that, the audiovisual component, the Black Banjo Reclamation Project, photo and video, Keep It Diasporic, our youth internships in the garden as well. But yeah, all of our programming will be centered around Black folks, and specifically queer Black folks.
Money is just, it exists and it's here, and unfortunately that's how it's going to sustain the building that we have. And it's also going to have us the opportunity to actually have a payroll and to pay ourselves, for the work that we're putting in. But for the most part, I've said most of what I've envisioned for Soul, and what I've envisioned for myself, and what I've envisioned for my project, Keep It Diasporic. But I hope people will reach out to us. Black people, Black queer folk will reach out to us for their ideals and for visions that they think that we could collab with in the future. And yeah, I think we'll have a section where you could contact us on the podcast. But yes, we want to hear we want to hear people's voices.
I just want to say that this is an opportunity. This is a real opportunity, especially y'all folks in the Bay Area, especially y'all non-Black folks in the Bay Area, to directly support a Black, queer, co-owned nonprofit. We are dedicated. We are full-time artists. We are full-time musicians. This is our move. This is what we have. And we have a rare and a unique opportunity, and I need all y'all to put your money where your mouth is, put your time where your mouth is, put your labor where your mouth is, because we live in a sad state. California is a very interesting place. And, if you don't live directly in these cities, you know what's going on. And if you do live in these cities, people are smiling in your face and then turn around and doing completely opposite stuff behind your back. So I really would just invite y'all to stop acting confused or like you don't know what to do or where to help. We're here to help you. We are here to help guide you and connect you with these communities that a lot of rhetoric is around, but we're a part of, and we are even seeking to connect deeper with. So yeah, this is just an invitation to support queer, Black, femme, non-binary, co-owned space.
I do hope in the future, I have a couple of studio ideals for photo studios. I've been able to access a couple of seamless backdrops. So hopefully I'll be like painting and creating like one-of-a-kind backdrops for folks to sell and to use at the studio. But because of the panorama, like I like to call it, we can't move as freely. So it will be a space for people to rent out or photographers and cinematographers to rent out studio to use for their sessions in the future, as well as my own sessions in my future. And yeah, keep an eye out for homemade seamless painted backdrops.
If you're looking to support or learn about independent musicians and artists, you can check me out. I'm at Bomb Snacks with 2 X's on platforms. And if you are a musician or you have an idea for a podcast, or an idea for a short visual video, I am looking to support independent musicians and artists with unique live performances. We'll get quality sound. If you want a video, we can talk to Keep It Diasporic about doing a collab. I also do some basic editing as well. So I'm just looking to really promote artists, help get them access to tools to just capture their best moments and their best sounds. If you want to do a live recorded performance that you can share, or you can put on your resume, or you can just promote yourself, if you just want to promote your music, you can reach out to me and I can definitely support you in that.
Thank you, Soul Revival members Laya, Hannah Mayree, and Avé-Ameenah. Check out Soul Revival's work on Instagram at Oakland_soul_revival, or email them directly at oaklandsoulrevival@gmail.com. Find this information, plus the personal contact information for each member, on our website, queercirclepodcast.com. There you'll also find links to ways to support the nonprofit. Music from today's episode was provided by Soul Revival's own member Bomb Snacks and can be found anywhere streaming is available.